49ers now tempted to sell Rangers star in January who Danny Röhl loves. Gobsmacked Rangers pundit eats his words after Danny Röhl unlocks something in player he'd written off. Nedim Bajrami, all but done at Ibrox, completely snubbed and heading for the door. And just when you thought the January window couldn't get any spicier, Röhl eyes up a Europa League destroyer in Mujaid Sadick, with the defender wanting a move to Govan. Hit the like button now, and let's get started. 3 wins from 3, 7 goals scored, just 1 conceded, and 2 clean sheets. Danny Röhl's record in the league is already looking sharper than a cold pint after work. The man's come into Ibrox like a fresh wind from Bavaria, and you can feel it, can't you? There's a buzz back about the place. Confidence, purpose, a bit of identity. Röhl's not just winning games, he's changing the tone completely. But with every new gaffer comes casualties, and one of them looks set to be Nedim Bajrami. Brought in with decent pedigree, a fee of £3.6 million, and hailed as outstanding by Albania boss Silvino, yet here we are. 60 minutes of league football this entire season. Not even a 5-minute cameo in a routine 3-0 stroll against Dundee. That says it all. You've got Mohamed Diomande getting a second wind under Röhl, while Bajrami's not even getting a sniff. And let's be honest, if you're not trusted to get on the pitch when we're cruising, what chance do you really have? He's not injured. He's not suspended. He's just not wanted. Yes, he's had some flashes, a nice goal here or there, some tidy moments, but for someone coming with a Serie A reputation and a price tag that size, it's not been close to good enough. It's no surprise his name's being tossed around ahead of the January window, and if he's away, truthfully, will you miss him? Is Nedim Bajrami the biggest modern flop to wear the shirt at Ibrox, or has he simply never been given a proper chance to prove himself under the right manager? You've heard me plenty of times over the last month, probably rolling your eyes when I kept pushing for Findlay Curtis to start ahead of Mikey Moore. And listen, I stand by what I said back then because based on what we were seeing, Moore didn't look ready. He looked like a young lad out of his depth, brought in from Spurs with a flashy tag, but nowhere near the level required for Ibrox. But fair play to him, and more importantly, fair play to Danny Röhl. Since Röhl walked through the door, Moore has been like a different animal. He's gone from fringe to focal point in the blink of an eye. He's not just ticking boxes, he's changing games. His movement has matured, his confidence is sky high, and he's got that freedom to roam, drift inside, link play, and more crucially, affect matches in the final third. The goal against Dundee was a moment of real composure, and it felt like a turning point. Andy Halliday's eaten his words, Alan Hutton's loving what he's seeing, and here I am doing the exact same. I've hammered Moore on here. I've said he was lightweight. I've said he lacked purpose, and I've said that Findlay Curtis had done more to earn that spot. But I've also got to admit when the picture changes, and clearly Röhl sees a blueprint with more that we're now beginning to understand. Still, something doesn't sit right. As much as I'm buzzing for the lad, I can't ignore the complete disappearance of Findlay Curtis. He was direct, pacey, and had that fearless energy we cry out for in wide areas. You don't just lose that talent overnight. So, what's going on? Is it tactical? Has Röhl made a conscious decision to shift the style and Curtis doesn't fit? Or is there something deeper, a knock, a falling out? Because from where I'm sitting, Moore's rise has come exactly as Curtis has vanished. And it's a mystery no one's really talking about. Has Mikey Moore truly earned his spot through performances? Or is Danny Röhl forcing this project at the expense of a more impactful, overlooked talent in Findlay Curtis? Now, this is where it gets messy. Nico Raskin, arguably our most influential player under Danny Röhl, now being lined up for a January sale, with the board tempted to cash in if someone stumps up £20 million. You can almost hear the calculators clicking in the background at G51. Let's be clear here. Raskin was on the fringes under Russell Martin, completely axed at one point, told to win back the trust of the squad and staff. But since Röhl arrived, he's not just won back trust, he's taken control. The stats against Dundee say it all. 93% pass completion, more touches than nearly anyone on the pitch, first in tackles, first in distance covered, and pulling the strings from the middle like he owns the place. This is exactly the version of Raskin we expected when he first came through the door. A midfield general, dynamic, aggressive, and calm on the ball. He's the pivot that keeps Röhl's system ticking. Derek Ferguson said it himself. Since he started looking after himself, he's been phenomenal, and you can't argue with that. Now suddenly, we're hearing the club might need to sell him, all because of a supposed £20 million net spend and fears of financial fair play. According to Keith Jackson, there are worries that if we want to bring in reinforcements after the Roma game exposed the gap in European quality, someone's got to be sacrificed. And guess what? The one player Röhl clearly doesn't want to lose is the one being lined up for the chop. And while we're on it, let's not ignore the real issue here. Kevin Thelwell's summer signings have, by and large, flopped. 12 new faces and not one of them lighting up Ibrox. Yet it's Raskin, one of the few proven, reliable performers that might be sold to fix the recruitment department's mistakes. That's not football strategy, that's firefighting. Selling Raskin in January, when he's under contract until 2027, when he's growing in value with every international break for Belgium, and when he's at the center of Röhl's rebuild, it would be madness, utter madness. And if you're talking about freeing up funds, why not start with players like Rabbi Matondo, Kieran Dowell, or even Nedim Bajrami? That's dead weight. Raskin is your engine room. If Rangers sell Raskin in January to balance the books and patch over Thelwell's failures, would you still trust this board to deliver a squad that's capable of dominating Scotland and competing in Europe? Now, this is the kind of ambition you want to see in a January window. No more project players or injury-prone punts. Rangers are targeting Mujaid Sadick. And by the sounds of it, the big man's open to a move to Ibrox. Let's start with what we've already seen with our own eyes. Sadick was part of that Genk side that came to Ibrox in the Europa League and left with a 1-0 win. And let's be honest, we didn't lay a glove on him. Commanding, calm, confident in possession, and exactly the type of presence you need when you're trying to build solid defensive foundation. The fact that he caught the scout's eye in that match tells you everything about his impact. He's 25, built like a brick wall, and more importantly, he can play. We're talking 96% passing accuracy. That's not just hoofing it long and hoping for the best. That's composure under pressure. And it's something we've lacked when playing out from the back. Add to that nearly 7 clearances a game and strong aerial stats, and you're looking at a centre-back who can dominate both boxes. And here's the part that should really get you buzzing. He wants the move. According to the reports, he sees Rangers and the Scottish Premiership as a genuine stepping stone to greater challenges. That ambition, that drive, that's what you want in the dressing room. He's not here to coast, he's here to make an impression. Röhl clearly knows his priorities. After shipping daft goals early in the season, the defense has to be addressed, and Sadick fits the mold. He's played at a good level, performed well in Europe, and crucially, he can cover at right back too, giving you depth and flexibility. If you're pushing on multiple fronts, League, Cup, and Europe, you need that. £6 million is the number being floated, and let's be honest, in today's market, that's not outrageous for a defender in his prime who's already proven himself on the European stage. And with Raskin potentially being eyed up for a big money sale, maybe this is the kind of shrewd reinvestment you do make. But let's stir the pot a wee bit here. If Sadick is keen and ready to come in, who drops out of the current back line to make way? Should Danny Röhl break up the current defensive partnership to make room for Mujaid Sadick? Or would that risk disrupting the momentum we're just beginning to build? Like the video, drop a comment, and subscribe for daily Rangers news. Don't miss a thing.